Hey guys, so it's actually been 5 years since I built my computer that I thought was a shit back when I built it, but then the 30 series came out and then the 40 series, now the 50 series got announced. Figured it was about time for an upgrade, so I got a 4090 that I need to throw a water block on and add to the loop by bending two new tubes. I did, however, while I was in my car accident, like while I was in the hospital and I was away from, I guess, everything, there was that whole thing with EK water blocks about them going under because they weren't paying employees, they weren't paying taxes, so when people would like order from their website, they would never get what they ordered. So out of sheer panic, I bought a 4090 water block from Amazon for EK water blocks. Now I bought it from Amazon because Amazon's return policy is a lot better and they can only sell you things that they have in their warehouse. Like, if it's coming from their warehouse, you can buy it from there and know that you're going to get it because they literally have it. I do need to throw the water block onto the 4090 and then add it to the loop, but while I'm doing that, I'm also going to clean the loop. I've been changing the fluid about once a year like you're supposed to do with fluids, but you know, back when I did I don't even remember how many splitters. I'd have to open my computer up, but when I had to get some third-party splitters to split all the power cables for the fan and the RGB cables, like, because there's two cables for every fan, right? There's an RGB cable and a power cable, one to power the fan, one to power the RGB. Problem is, I'm pretty sure since I used third-party splitters that it like was drawing too much voltage or something that it wasn't rated for, because now the LEDs on my fans, at least the front four, are broken and don't really change when I change them in IQ. So I did kind of splurge on some new fans because I do still want RGB fans. I got the Corsair QX120s and I got three QX140s because I have three 140mm fans. Now what's nice about these is that I know they're not the first of their kind. I'm pretty sure Lee made like a unibody fan, but it snaps to other fans and connects with headers from one fan to the other with no cables needed. You can link up to like 7, I think, at a time, and then on that 7th and last one, or at the very beginning before you start linking them all together, either the first or last fan, you plug into an IQ, I don't remember what it's called, like an IQ link. So it's one cable that plugs into an IQ link, and then that IQ link plugs into USB header on your motherboard. So instead of having the 42 cables for just the fans, that's not counting splitters or anything, before counting the 42 cables to the fans, it was already a mess behind my computer. Like where I hide all the cables is a mess. So this will simplify cable management a lot. I'm very excited to throw them in there, and while I have the old fans out, I'll clean the dust out of the fins of my radiator because I haven't taken the radiators out since I've installed them. So yeah, I guess we'll see how that goes. And then, you know, they are kind of pricey, but to me it's worth it because way less cables. Alright guys, so today we're going to be, this is a game I play all the time, League of Legends. So we're going to see what the frame rate looks like based on the highest settings, I guess. I mean, it's not really, League isn't really an intensive game, it's not like a demanding game. Alright, so as you guys can see, we are at a native 2K because this resolution of our monitor, we have a 2560 by 1440 monitor. Now the slider says we're on custom, but we'll just crank everything up to very high. Very high, very high. Frame rate cap, uncapped. Anti-aliasing. I always turn waiver VSync off because I fucking hate the input delay that it adds. So once that applies and loads up, we will see. You know, I'm not sure why I ran it in a lower frame rate. It doesn't seem to fucking struggle at all. So we can see the frame rate drop a little bit when I introduce some sort of animation in the game. How do I automatically resource cooldowns? There we go. So you can see the frame rate drops a little bit when I introduce any sort of animation or particles. Like, let's see, we go from 257 to 254. Yeah, so that's not as much of a drop. The FPS is displayed up here. God damn, that takes forever. Holy shit. Alright. So you can see the frame rate is definitely not at 300 anymore. Now they've introduced like actual So it's like I would say I get a steady 120 out of it because it's fluctuating a lot between like 180 and 140. Again, this isn't too demanding of a game, so it's not really super hard for this graphics card to push a decent frame rate on it. But yeah, I guess that'll be the League of Legends test. Alright, so now we'll play a game that I have a lot more playtime in and a game that I regularly play a lot. The game was actually idle while I was in the hospital, so it says that I have like over 1,000 hours of playtime, which isn't accurate. It's like an inflated playtime, but I am a high level because I do play a lot. So we are on 2560 by 1440 on performance render scale. We set the frame rate to 144 and we turn VSync off always. I fucking hate VSync, so let's crank this to... Ooh. I've never actually played with that setting before. Then we go to graphics. Let's see, let's turn everything up as high as we can just to kind of get a comparison here. So ultra high, ultra high. Ambient occlusion, I don't really think it does too much for performance. Same with illumination, but we'll see. Vegetation and rubble density, ultra. Terrain quality high, volumetric fog high, volumetric clouds high, lighting quality high, anti-aliasing on, async compute. I think that's like, it splits up the duty on your CPU and your GPU. So our GPU is at 74 degrees right now. The hotspot is 109. That's not really great, but you could say our frame rate is at 35 right now. It's like taking forever to fucking, oh my gosh. Game's like going in slow-mo. Oh my gosh. Now we're at 33 FPS. This is unplayable. Why is it slow motion? Interesting. Look at this shit. Wow, this is unplayable. Oh, my goodness. Alright, just for posterity's sake, let's do a napalm strike. See what our frame rate dips down to. This is really bad though, holy crap. Look at that. 30 frames I saw. Does it dip below 30 ever though? Let's see. Oh yeah, we're at 29 right now. Jeez, this is bad. Our GPU hotspot is 109. We're at 75C right now. Meanwhile, our CPU is just chilling. That's crazy. Wow. Well, I'm gonna flip my settings back so I don't have to do it later. Let's see, we go to display. Here we go. 60 frames, alright, not bad, not bad. Now let's see what it's like in a game. Oh, is that a Steam overlay with... Oh, I have double frame rate, my bad. So you could either look at the top right or the top left. It's probably easier to see the top left. So we actually get 60 frames on Ultra. That's pretty doable, I guess. I don't play on Ultra though because I like having a higher frame rate if it means losing some quality. So I would say this one's about like 60 average because I could probably lock it at 60 and it'll stay at 60. I can't really attest to whether or not, well, I went down to 53, wow. I can't really attest to whether or not it'll drop like when other people are like ulting at the same time or introducing a lot of particles, but pretty good so far. Oh, we're at 49. Yeah, this isn't great. For me personally, I don't like having the, it feels like there's a lot of input delay, like between the time that I move my mouse in person and the time my camera actually moves in game. Feels a little bit longer just because the frames like don't update as quickly because we're at like 50 frames instead of 144. But yeah, you can see there we dipped down to like 43. That's crazy. So yeah, 49, 49, 44, 43. My GPU's heating up again. It's not too hot, but it's heating up a little bit. What's hotspot? 108. Oh geez, yeah, that paced. It's about time I get a GPU upgrade, because if I wasn't upgrading the GPU, I'd want to take this GPU out and repaste it, because thermal paste should not be good for 5 years. But yeah, we're getting like on average like low 40s, mid 40s, I'd say. So let me change my settings back. We still get about 40 for, oh, this is still not really playable with ray tracing on. So we get a pretty good frame rate here. I mean, it's not steady by any means. We about 50. So this is pure rasterization. We're getting 30 plus FPS. Man, I really don't remember what settings I had this on before that made it somewhat playable. Maybe I just dealt with it. But yeah, it's not super great on this game. I have to make a lot of compromises, I suppose. I do want to disclose, these are frame rates recorded on games running the highest graphic settings they can with recording software in the background. I do have OBS recording what the computer is doing, so it doesn't really help the load at all. Oh, there we go. There's FPS down there. Jeez, that's fucking low. 15, 16. My goodness. That's pretty bad, honestly. I've never been like the type of person who loves things maxed out. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would love to play games maxed out, and I used to be able to, but I've never really been a 4K gamer. I haven't played on a 4K monitor, so I don't really know what I'm missing, but I'm really happy that the 2K monitor at 144 Hz, so that's what I aim for, really. With every game, I try and get 144 frames, because like I said, I prefer a higher refresh rate over like 4K. Jeez, did that say booba? Oh, I'm on a bounty, I guess. Jeez, almost 10 FPS. That's abysmal. Alright, so that's done benchmarking. Our temp didn't get too hot, but we got 1421. That is terrible. Apparently the average is 35, 39. Wow. My GPU didn't really downclock itself either, but alright, well, I guess we'll see how the 49 does, but yeah. Alright, I just kind of wanted to show you guys a little bit, but before, of how many cables were in my computer. I really wanted RGB fans, and that comes at a cost of cable management. So here I decided to use EK makes a flush, like a flush concentrate that you mix with water, distilled water, and add to a loop, and it supposedly flushes out all the gunk and contaminants. And then I flushed it multiple times, and then after I flushed it many times, I used a cleaner. I'm not sure how well it works, but it seemed to work pretty well clearing up the microfins in the blocks. So after I had that guy drained and filled and drained and filled and drained and filled, I was able to completely drain it and take all the blocks off. I took the fans off while it was circulating with the cleaner solution in there. And I took out the two 480 rads in the front, and I had to undo all the cables that were there. That was fun. It's like 32 cables, 16 fans, 2 cables for each fan. Look at how dusty that is. That's 5 years of not being someone to clean like that. So I took those out to my balcony and sprayed the fuck out of them. They almost look new. There was so much hair that came out of them, like cat hair and just dust. So like I said, they snap together really well. It makes it so easy to install. And then after we got all the fans mounted, we decided to tear down the GPU. It is a TUF 4090. So I pulled up the EK water blocks instructions on my monitor while I still have my computer on. I mean, this is before I disassembled my computer, so I could still use it while I was disassembling the card, but for storyline's sake, this recording is put here. Look at my face of pure focus. Was not fun to disassemble, that's for damn sure. Look at how small the PCB actually is compared to the cooler. It is fucking nuts. And I kind of showcase here that I'm using the non-EK water block supplied thermobots because those are apparently junk. So I found some, they're called I think Gelid or Gelid GC Super Extreme or whatever, that apparently work really well. I just wish I bought more because they're really tiny strips. I forgot to record footage of me bending the two new tubes that I had to make because the old ones are too long or too short since the new block is taller. But I bent those, and then after I installed them, I filled up the loop. Alright guys, I just want to pause the montage for a second. Look at this cable management. It's not the best cable management, it's kind of a nightmare, but this is what it looks like when there's not 42 cables in here just for the fans. I have this right here because I'll need to run power to the pump, but right now it's being jumped by the other power supply. So here we go with this loop already filled up. There's a lot of stuff I skipped over just for this video is getting really long. So I plugged everything in and look at that. Alright, so like we did with the 2080 Ti comparison, we're gonna do League first. And like I said, it's not a very demanding game. So it's not really a valid benchmark, but it's just a game that I play a lot. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. It's like my monitor can't even keep up with the refresh rate. Look at this. Alright. So our frame rate's actually pretty comparable to what it was with the 2080 Ti. So I waste my money on a 4090. Let's quickly go spam some more animations. Like I said guys, this isn't really a demanding game, so it's not really, I guess, a fair comparison, but let me teleport the cursor. This one. Yeah, like I said, not a fair comparison. Alright, so jumping into some Helldivers 2. I will say I don't believe it's an apples to apples comparison because on the 2080 Ti I was running Helldivers 2 in DirectX 11 just because it ran better. But I'm running this in DirectX 12 because it's better optimized for the card that I'm using. So let's see. I want to say we're still fucking maxed out. Oh man. Display, graphics, custom, motion blur, depth of field, bloom, I don't care about that. Sharpness, blah blah blah. High, I died. High. Alright, fly. 1 frame per second. Alright, so this isn't what I would play at because this is a little, holy shit. Oh my gosh. But it's not moving in slow-mo anymore. You see, I feel like there's one other setting that I used. Yeah, okay. So we set this to super sampling, which runs a little bit better on here, but look at that water. Oh my gosh. Is that ray tracing? That's crazy. Damn, I feel like I'm playing this game with fast forward. Oh, never mind. I'll drop there. So I'll have to tweak the settings, but in apples to oranges, apples to apples comparison, we can kind of see what it's like. This actually looks pretty fucking good. Wow. That's a lot of shriekers, my god. But yeah. Alright, let's jump into everybody's favorite Overwatch 2. Practice range. I think we chose Soldier the first time, so we'll play Soldier again. Wow, why was my ping so high there? What the heck? Can you imagine buying a fucking $2,000 GPU just to play Overwatch 2 all day? So I just want to emphasize this is on the highest settings. We're getting a very solid frame rate on the highest settings. I don't know how accurate that is though, because it doesn't feel like 144 frames. It feels like it's dipping. It did say a restart is required to make certain changes, so I bet you it's still gonna say that. Oh, look at that. That's crazy. This doesn't like... I feel like it's almost not real. How much of a night, like when I first built this computer, I used to be able to run Overwatch back when it was just Overwatch on Overwatch 2. I used to be able to run it maxed out without a concern in the world. But now it's like impressive that I can max it out at this frame rate. I am... See, it feels like it dropped a little bit there. Is it because I have motion blur off or something? Motion blur kind of blends it together a little bit. Alright, well I think we're done here. I think we've seen what we need to see. GPU is instantly at 100% utilization. CPU's at 30% utilization, but the GPU's at 45C right now and not climbing. Down to 44 now. God damn. Look at the frame rate too. Oh my gosh. We're actually... The GPU's actually cooling down. It's at 43 now. Jeez. It looks like an entirely different game when you have more than 15 frames. The GPU is still at 100% utilization. Still at 44C though. My goodness, that looked great. So 7858 results showing the same hardware. Yeah, but you're lying. Alright, now this surpasses the can it Minecraft question because this game has become the forefront of like ray tracing benchmarking. Wow. You know, that really doesn't, that looks a little too sharp. Like if I flick my camera and you look at the plant, I'm just being picky maybe, but I mean, that's crazy. This is the highest frame rate I've ever had in Cyberpunk. That is crazy. I don't think the 2080 Ti had the option for frame regen. Let's just restart it just to see. That is crazy. Oh my gosh. Alright, hang on. There has to be a sharpness setting, right? Oh, look at that. This is the best the game has ever looked and the most frames it's ever pushed. That is crazy. What in the fuck? We're in over 120 frames, so I could lock it at 120 and play comfortably. Holy shoot. Look at this. Oh my goodness. In the middle of the city, we get more than 20 frames. Oh my gosh.
All units on site, continue searching the area.
Look at this. This looks so good. Alright, well thank you guys for watching. It was a very big pain in the ass to change the graphics card out because I had to drain the loop and fill it like probably 5 times. Funny story, when I first went to boot my computer, I got Q code A2 on the motherboard, which I looked up as a boot error. Thought my SSDs died, so I tried another SSD that I have that has Windows on it. Didn't work, same code. Tried without the GPU, tried with an older GPU, tried a different power supply, tried with a different motherboard, and lo and behold, the main reason it didn't boot was because I didn't push the DisplayPort cable in all the way to the graphics card, so it couldn't output to a monitor because it didn't have a solid connection to a monitor. That's crazy. But the Q code A2 was just telling me that there's no CPU fan installed because I'm liquid cooled, I don't use a CPU fan. After I got the graphics actually going to the monitor and I acknowledged that and changed the setting in BIOS, this has been amazing. But I will see you guys next time. I'm going to get some sleep because it's been like a week and a half of working on this computer.